Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Marc Jacobs Stiletto palette. I was so excited to purchase this because Mel Thompson used this on her channel. If you guys don't know Mel Thompson, I'll go ahead and link her channel down below. Her makeup is always so stunning. She is so beautiful. Not only that, she always does really good reviews. She gives a lot of information. She tries and tests out products, and she always gives like an honest review on those products. Even if those products have been given to her, she still gives an honest review. So you guys need to check her out if you already haven't. So I went ahead and did this eye look with the palette. So before I get into the tutorial, I just want to talk about the palette just a little bit. So I did purchase the palette on Sephora's website and I paid $49.50 for the palette. This palette is actually limited edition. So if you want this palette, I would suggest that you go ahead and purchase it because I assume that it's only going to be out until they're completely gone. I'm going to go over some of the information that is on the Sephora website, and it says what it is: an eyeshadow palette that features 7 shades in 4 finishes. Empower your inner eye makeup stylist with this ultra luxe eyeshadow palette featuring 4 fashion finishes, including buttery matte velvet, shimmering satin, sparkling silk, and metallic lame. This limited edition palette in a reflective chrome case features the same super plush shadow formulation as the original Iconic, covering lids in lasting velvety rich pigment. Make the ultimate impression in a covetable mix of unexpected neutrals and smoky shimmers. Beyond his fashion design, Marc Jacobs is also known as the ultimate stylist for making last-minute adjustments to perfect every look right before it walks down the runway. So here is what the packaging looks like. It does have that chrome finish on the front, and then on the inside it has a mirror, and here are the shades here. They're beautiful, cool tone, neutral shades. Okay, so looking at the palette, there are 4 velvety shades. It's this one here, which is Catwalks. This brown one right here is also a velvet shade. It's called Become. This one is actually another velvet shade. It's called Jungle. This one here is called The Concrete, and the last one is Rule. So those are all really soft, matte, velvety shades. The shimmering shade in the palette is called Sidewalks, and then this one right here, which I think is the Lame with some like sparkle to it, is called Sparkling. I think I used every shade except these 2 shades right here are the ones that I did not use, but I used all the other shades. So let's go ahead and get into the tutorial, and then I'll be back to show you the swatches. So now let's go ahead and get into the swatches. The first one that I'm going to swatch for you, that one right there, is called Rule. These are super creamy. So the next shade right here is called The Concrete. This next shade right here is called Jungle. And that's a beautiful like lavender, dark lavender shade. This next shade right here is called Sidewalks. That's that shimmer shade. Really beautiful. This next shade is called Become. This sparkling lame type shade is called Sparkling. That's a perfect name for it because it has all that beautiful sparkle to it. And the last shade is called Catwalks. It's just a really beautiful velvety black. So let's get into my thoughts about this palette. The shades in this palette are gorgeous. They can make a really beautiful smoky eye, or they can make an everyday eye, especially with these lighter shadows here. You can do an everyday look with this palette as well as a nighttime look. The shadows themselves blended so beautifully. They're super, super pigmented. I didn't have any problems with them blending on my eye together. And this shade right here came off gorgeous, this sparkling shade. I have that on my lids, as y'all saw in the video. Now, the only problem that I think people will have with this palette is the fact that when you stick your brush into a shadow, it has like a lot of kick up. So as you can see here, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna put it like this so you can see. But if you put your brush in there, do you see that? It has a lot of kick up, and it does get in the palette, but to be honest with you, that is not an issue for me. I have palettes where there's a lot of kick up, and as long as they perform well on the eyelid, I have no problem. Now, I did put my foundation on before I did my eyes today, and I hardly had any fallout. I may have had just a tiny bit, but not enough to where I need to complain about it. And in all honesty, if I have shadows that have fallout or kick up, as long as I put my eyeshadow on before my foundation, that kick up and that little bit of fallout is not a big deal for me. I know it is for some people. I totally understand. You know, everybody has their wants and needs in a palette. For this palette, there is some kick up, just remember that. And I would suggest, you know, putting your eyeshadow on before you put on your foundation so you don't have even that little bit of fallout on your face or around your eye. So anyway, this palette is expensive. It is $49.50, but it's well worth it. It is so well worth it because I just feel like this is just one of those palettes where it's not one of those typical palettes for me. I just feel like this is a palette that I can use all the time. I just think it's a really beautiful palette. If you're looking for something that has more neutral tones to it, you know, like the cool tones, this is actually gonna be the palette that you wanna pick up. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me on this video. Thank you for being here, and we'll talk to you soon.